Hi, Julian here. I'm going to be taking the SAT practice test, test 1, section 3, the Math No Calculator. And let's get started. So first one, x minus 1 over 3 equals k. We have k equals 3. What is the value of x? So we have x minus 1 over 3 equals 3. 3 times 3 equals 9. X minus 1 equals 9. Add 1, you get x equals 10. Next problem. We have for I equals negative, first I equals square root of negative 1. What is the sum of 7 plus 3i plus negative 8 plus 9i? So we're going to be adding like terms. 7 plus a negative 8 will be a negative 1. 7 minus 8 is negative 1. And 3i plus 9i, 3 plus 9 equals 12, so that will be 12i. And that will be A. And then we have number 3. On Saturday afternoon, Armand sent M text messages each hour for 5 hours. So M text messages per hour for 5 hours, that'll be 5M text messages for Armand. And Tyrone sent P text messages each hour for 4 hours. That'll be 4P text messages for Tyrone. Which of the following represents the total number of messages sent by Armand and Tyrone on Saturday afternoon? You would simply add them together. 5M plus 4P. We have number 4. Kathy is a repair technician for a phone company. Each week she receives a batch of phones that need repairs. The number of phones that she has left to fix at the end of each day can be estimated with the equation 108 minus 23D, where P is the number of phones left. So P equals 108 minus 23D. So P is phones left. D is the number of days. That means in order for the units to match 108 also has to be phones. And 23 has to be phones per day. What is the meaning of 108 in the equation? 108 would be the number of phones you start with. You lose 23 phones, or well, you fix 23 phones per day. And then at the end of however many days, you would multiply by 23 to figure out how many phones are left. So 108 is how many you start with. Each week she starts with 108 phones to fix. We have number 5. Okay, we have a polynomial equation. Let's rewrite this so that we get rid of the negative and distribute it. So we have x squared y minus 3y squared plus 5xy squared plus x squared y plus, well, that'd be, no, minus, this will be plus, minus, plus, distributing. So minus 3x y squared plus 3y squared. X squared y will be 2x squared y. Negative 3y squared plus 3y squared cancels out. We used these already too. 5x y squared minus 3x y squared will be 2x y squared. 2x squared y plus 2xy squared. Number 6. The pediatrician uses the model above to estimate the height h of a boy in inches in terms of the boy's age a. In years between the ages of 2 and 5, based on the model, what is the estimated increase in inches of a boy's height each year? So we have h equals 3a plus 28.6. So h is again your height. A is age or years. This will also be height inches. And 3 will be your order for the units to match again, inches per year. So he's growing 3 inches per year, which is what they're asking for. What is the estimated increase in inches of a boy's height each year? Will simply be the slope, or 3. And we have number 7. 7's, let's see if I can fit this on. I think that's good enough. So we're going to be, the formula above gives the monthly payment M needed to pay off loan P at R% annual interest over N months. It's an awfully complicated formula. Which of the following gives P? We're solving for P in terms of M, R, and N. So we need P by itself. Essentially, all we're going to have to do is multiply this up here to get it to the top. And bring this expression up here, bring it to the bottom. We're going to be dividing by that to solve for P. So we're going to have M, 1 plus this mess. Do we have that here? M is on top, so those are all good. M's not moving. We have this mess, 1 plus that thing, that's good. We're going to bring this down the bottom. That's here, and that's here. So this is our answer, and T was not our answer, so we don't need to see that. Let's go number 8. Okay. Number 8. Let's go see. A over B equals 2 was the value of 4B over A. So A over B equals 2. That means if we flip it, B over A equals 1/2. And 4B over A will be 4 times 1/2 will simply be 2. You know, that's 2 over 1, so I just essentially flipped the fraction over. And let's go to the next problem. Number 9. too far. Ooh. Okay, number 9. Okay, it doesn't like me right now. What is the solution to the system of equations? So we're going to be solving this. We could use either, substitution or elimination. And it doesn't make a huge difference which way you choose, but I just noticed we need to rearrange the equations so that x and y match up. And then we will be able to choose a method. We could either multiply, I like elimination, so I'm going to multiply this equation by 3. So this one gives negative 3x plus 6y. 10 times 3 is 30, 9 times 3 is 27. 30 plus 27 will be a negative 57. And if we bring this equation down, negative 23, these cancel out. We have 10y equals negative 80. If we add them together, divide by 10, y equals negative 8. And it looks like this is our answer, but if you want to check, if we plug in y into the second equation, that one's simpler. Make sure we did it right. Negative 16 minus x equals negative 19. Add 16, you get negative x equals negative 3. So that means x equals positive 3. And that is our answer. And let's go clear that and go to the next problem. Number 10. Ax squared plus 24 is our function. A is a constant. G of 4 equals 8. What is the value of g of negative 4? So 8 is our y value, 4 is our x. A 4 squared plus 24. 8 equals 16a plus 24. Subtract 24. Negative 16 equals 16a. Divide by 16, you get a equals negative 1. And then if we go back and plug this in, negative 1x squared plus 24 was the value of g of negative 4. Negative 1, negative 4 squared plus 24. Negative 4 squared is positive 16. Negative 16 plus 24, so that'll be 8. Which was the value of our g of 4 that they gave us, because it's in this case it's a parabola and it's going to be symmetric about the y-axis. So g of 4 will be g of negative 4. They'll be the same value. And we can go clear that. Scroll back up to number 11. We have another system of equations. B and C represent the price per pound in dollars of beef and chicken, respectively X weeks after July 1st during last summer. What is the price per pound of beef when it is equal to the price per pound of chicken? So we have X is our weeks, B is our price of chicken, beef and chicken respectively, so they're going to equal each other. So we're simply going to set these equal to each other. We have 2.35 plus 0.25x equals 1.75 plus 0.25 40x. So if we subtract 0.25x, that's going to be 0.15x. And if we subtract 1.75, subtract 1.75, that will 5's cancel out. 13 minus 7 is 0.6 equals 0.15. If you don't like decimals, you can move it over before you divide, essentially multiplying both by 100. And we get 60 over 15 will be 4. 4 is not our answer, so what did we miss? We need, 4 will be the number of weeks, which is our x. We need to plug it back in to get our price per pound of beef or chicken. And so I'll plug it into this first one because that makes it nice and easy. 0.25 times 4 is 1. 1 plus 2.35 will be 3.35. So that's like essentially 4 times a quarter is $1. Add $2.35, you're at $3.35. Let's go to number 12. A line in the xy plane passes through the origin and has a slope of 1 over 7. So y equals 1 over 7 x. It goes through the origin, so you could have 0 if you want. Which of the following points lies on the line? 7 will be 1. 7 for x will be 1 for y. If you plug in 0 for x, you get 0. You plug in 1 for x, you should get 1 over 7. Plug in 7 for x, you should get 1. If you plug in 14 for x, you should get 2. That means D is our answer. And let's go to number 13. Here we go. 13. If x is greater than 3, which of the following is equivalent? Now the purpose of this x is greater than 3 is just a domain restriction, because when x is negative 2, this equation blows up. When x is negative 3, this equation probably will blow up. You know, you're dividing by 0. So this probably should have said like x is greater than like negative 2, because this will actually be a negative 3. So that's not important. We're just going to be rearranging this equation. So if we need the common denominator, so we're going to multiply this by x plus 3 over x plus 3, and this side by x plus 2 over x plus 2. So we have x plus 3 and x plus 3, x plus 2, plus x plus 2, x plus 3, x plus 2. We can combine these two now that we have the common denominator. 2x plus 5 over x plus 3, x plus 2, where this is our main fraction. Like, you can think of all this in parentheses. We're going to be flipping it. So when you divide by a fraction, you flip and multiply. So 1 times our flipped fraction will be x plus 3, x plus 2, over 2x plus 5, over 2x plus 5. That looks like this answer. If we just want to make sure that, FOIL it out, x squared plus 3x plus 2x plus 5 over 2x plus 5. And that top simplifies to x squared plus 5x plus, it should have been 6. X squared plus 5x plus 6, 3 times 2 is 6. B is indeed our answer, and we're good. Number 15 now. Ax plus 2 times bx plus 7 equals 15x squared plus cx plus 14 for all values of x. And a plus b equals 8. What are two possible values for c? So it looks like we're going to need to distribute that. Just ignore that. abx squared, foiling out, plus 2bx plus 7ax plus 14 has to equal our other one, 15x squared plus cx plus 14. 14 equals 14, we're good there. If we combine the x terms, you'll have 2b plus 7a equals 7. Those are x terms. And our x squared term means 15 has to equal ab. And we're also given in the problem a plus b equals 8. So a plus b equals 8. A times b equals 5. So we have a equals 3, b equals 5. But we could also have a equals 5, b equals 3 as another answer. And if we solve for c, 2 times 5 plus 7 times 3 equals c, plugging into that third equation. 10 plus 21 equals 31. Looks like this answer. And our other answer will be the 5 and the 3. Back in there, 2 times 3 plus 7 times 5 equals 6 plus 35 does equal 41, so we're good there. We got our two answers, and I can clear that out now. We have our, okay, I didn't do 14, I guess I skipped 14, so we'll do 14 now. 3x minus y equals 12. What is the value of 8 to the x over 2 to the y? We can rearrange this to combine it, see what happens. 2 to the 3x, because 2 cubed equals 8 over 2 to the y. And if we combine these, we have 2 to the 3x minus y. And you can see here we have 3x minus y equals 12. So if we plug that in, that will be 2 to the 12. Alternately, if we worked with the other equation first, we could have done like add y to the other side and subtract 12. You'll get y equals 3x minus 12, just switching these two. We could plug that in now, 8 to the x over 2 to the 3x minus 12. Again, we could rewrite the 8 to the x as 2 to the 3x over 2 to the 3x. And then we could all have this simply as 2 to the negative 12. These cancel out, and we're left with 1 over 2 to the negative 12. We would just switch the exponent to become a positive 2 to the 12. Now to number 16. So we're now back to a couple easier questions because we're on the fill in the blank before we get to another hard question. So you want to make sure you get to like number 16, because that would be a shame if you missed a number 16 and it was really easy and you didn't have time for it because you spent too much time on 14 and 15. So we have t is greater than 0, t squared minus 4 equals 0. What is the value of t? On On SAT problems, you're never going to have a negative answer here anyway because that's not an option. So if we factor this t plus 2, t minus 2 equals 0, t equals negative 2, t equals positive 2. We had t is greater than 0, but you can't have a negative anyway on these fill in the blanks, so we have t equals 0. Number 17, we have this pretty graph. Summer camp counselor wants to find the length x in feet across a lake as represented in the sketch above. The lengths represented by AB, EB, BD, and CD are determined to be 1,800 feet, so that's AB. It's 1,800 feet, 1,400 feet for EB, then we have BD, 700 feet, and the last one, CD, was 800 feet. Segments AC and DE intersect at B, which is kind of obvious. And angle AEB and CDB, these two are equal. So that means if we're setting up proportional triangles, that means this side equals this side, because those are the opposite angles corresponding. But we don't have this side. But that means also that 1,400 should match up with 700, and 800 should match up with x. So we're going to use those two. 700 over 1,400 equals 800 over x. 700 over 1,400 is simply 1 over 2. 800x, cross multiply, x equals 1,600 feet. And you can look at this, put 1,600 here, make sure it looks good. Looks pretty good to me. This looks like it should be 900. This was our answer, was the value of x, so we're good to go 1,600 feet. Let's go clear this. Pull it back up a little. Number 18. According to the system of equations above, what is the value of x? This is our, I think, third system of equations in this short 20 question set. What is the value of x? Well, I'm going to simply solve for y first, actually, because I think that's easier. If we distribute the negative, x minus x is 0, 2y minus y equals y. Negative 25 plus 9 equals negative 16. If we plug that back in the first one, x minus 16 equals 9. Add 16, add 16. That's a negative 9. You get x equals positive 7. You can check both equations if you want. 7 minus 16 equals negative 9. 7 minus 32 equals negative 25. They both check out. We're good. Alternately, if you wanted to solve directly for y, you could have multiplied the first equation by negative 2. Negative 2x minus 2y equals positive 18. X plus 2y equals negative 25. Negative x equals negative 7. So x equals positive 7. And again, you wouldn't have a negative answer here. So if you did have a negative answer for x, you would know it's wrong. Number 19. In a right triangle, one angle measures x degrees where sine of x is 4/5. What is the value of cosine of 90 minus x? We set up a little triangle right here. Let's call this x. Sine is going to be our opposite. So this is the opposite side over the hypotenuse. And this other side, this other angle will be 90 minus x. This will be a 3, 4, 5 triangle, in case you didn't see it. Pythagorean theorem. This is our 90 minus x. Cosine of 90 minus x will be adjacent over hypotenuse, which will also be 4/5. And one thing they like to do on this is that the sine of x is the cosine of 90 minus x. The cosine of x is the sine of 90 minus x, so it's essentially, that's something they like you to remember. That one's 4/5. We got our last problem. If a equals 5 square root of 2, 2a equals square root of 2x. What is the value of x? So we can simply plug in 5 square root of 2 in for a over here. Simplify, 10 square root of 2 equals square root of 2x. If we square both, this will be 2x. This will be 10 squared is 100 times 2. Square root of 2 squared is 2. 2's cancel out, x equals 100. That's your answer. You can check it if you want. Well, we don't have the value of a yet. Actually, let's not check it. So let's just know that 100's our answer. And we should be good to go. I mean, if you were bored, I guess you could check it. Square root of 200 equals 10 square root of 2. So square root of 200 will be 100 times 2, so the 10 will come out, and we are good. Okay, thank you for joining me today. Hope you have another great day, and I will go close out this video.